Hey, this is Charles Onyett with IGN, and I'm here with Anthony Gallegos.
Hello.
And we are checking out Hi-Rez Studios' online shooter, Tribes Ascend, which is a free-to-play game, which also happens to be really, really good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And one of several free-to-play shooters this year on PC that are definitely going to be in or around the Shooter of the Year conversation at the end of 2012. So what you get without paying here is you will get access to 3 different classes, each of which have different abilities, such as the Pathfinder here is sort of lightly armored, but all about speed around the battlefield, whereas the Juggernaut is a little bit slower, but has heavier weapons. So you can see weapon variants in here. If you start with the Pathfinder, you'll get a light spin fuser, which is kind of the iconic Tribes weapon. Although there are variants of that within each class, like you get a regular spin fuser here as a secondary unlock, and if you choose to go Juggernaut, the secondary weapon is kind of a heavier version of that. The payment system allows you to unlock upgrades for each weapon. You can see them down here, and these actually, I mean, the XP, which you see in the upper corner here, I haven't played all that much yet, so in this version of the game, so I don't have a ton of experience, but it doesn't take that long to amass that much.
Yeah, the prices are quite reasonable for a lot of things, but then there are certain secondary weapons, like Charles is showing right here, the bolt launcher, 42,000 experience.
That's a lot of experience. Or you can pay 240 gold. And you can see the gold purchasing menu here. So you can make sort of bulk purchases of gold where they're listing best value, which not really sure necessarily applies because it's fake money.
But
I mean, I guess it's worth what anyone's willing to pay for it, but still, it's kind of funny to see that thing on there.
yeah, I mean, it seems like most weapons cost a few bucks, basically real money if you want to buy them. But a lot of them you also can't, you can earn in game. They're not forcing you to spend money, and you actually get access, like we said, to 3 classes and multiple modes, just default straight up. So it's definitely a true free-to-play game.
There are XP, purchasing limits on these as well, so it's not like you can only pay gold to get them. And yeah, there are a lot of upgrades, and even if you play for a little bit, it's still pretty easy to start getting into the upgrade system and buying things. A lot of the stuff isn't that expensive. Like the armor upgrades here to go through this path, I mean, 12,000 would probably take a bit, but you can definitely purchase some of these things. And since this game is so skill-based anyway, I feel like it's less to do about the upgrades and more about how skilled you actually are at playing the game.
Right, and it's nice because some of those upgrades we looked over, I mean, a lot of the upgrades to your armor and stuff, those are only purchasable with experience. You can't pay gold. So in that case, you still have to earn them through the game. You can't just pay to win.
That's true. And yeah, you have the additional classes here of the 3 sort of different sizes of class, including a Technician, who gets a little turret, and a Sentinel, who's mostly about sniping. You don't get every mode from the beginning, but you can unlock them seemingly fairly quickly. Here you get at level 8 Capture and Hold and Arena modes, in addition to the fairly standard Team Deathmatch and Capture the Flag, which is kind of the trademark Tribes mode. So we're going to jump into a CTF match and show off how the game actually plays. Alright, so here I am joining a Capture the Flag map. I'm going to play as a Pathfinder who gets a light spin fuser gun, which is this. As you see here, it shoots these sort of slow-moving discs that detonate when they hit, so you get a little bit of an area effect attack when they finally hit something, which is really important because things move incredibly quickly in these games. So you have to be very mindful of where you're aiming, and having that extra space to actually hit someone becomes very important when you and your target are moving at incredibly high speed.
Yeah, I mean, hitting someone head-on is very challenging in general, but this weapon, slower moving, is especially difficult, which is why it has the area effect damage. I will say, though, that when you actually do hit someone with a spin fuser, it is the most satisfying of all weapons.
Yeah, and this guy's taking actually a few hits because he's a heavier class, but it gives you a sense of how fast this combat is. Actually getting attacked by enemy turrets right now, and I'm in a very bad position.
But it is a super, you're seeing an example of how skill-based it is. Like, this guy could be using anything, and Charles could be using anything, but really what it comes down to is how well can they aim while dancing the way they are.
Yeah, you do have to, whoops, I screwed that one up. You do have to lead the target, so you have to predict somewhat, at least while using something like the spin fuser.
Nice.
There. Oh, damn.
Oh man, this guy's so close to being dead.
He takes so many hits. I can't get it. He's trying to go get health now. Oh, there we
nicely
go.
done. Got him before he could run away.
All right.
So what you saw there was a good example, though. Both of them were doing, the movement in tribes, which is so important. Obviously, that guy had way more health than Charles. Charles had to hit him like 4 times as much as he had to hit him, but Charles was able to do that with a good use of his skiing and jetpack.
Yeah, and I'm going to actually return to base right now, but because it looks like I'm sliding around on the ground, I actually am by holding the space bar. Yeah, I'm skiing all over the place. I want to hit the down slopes to pick up speed, jetpack off the top to gain speed. So I'm just going to try and float in on the downslope here, and then you just maintain that fast momentum as you cross a map. And once you stop skiing, then this guy took our flag, so he's gonna have to die. Unfortunately, I don't really have much ammo left here, and if somebody does get a head start,
you're out.
If somebody does get a head start on you with the flag, it's very difficult to catch up with them unless you're able to cut down the angle, or they really make a mistake, or your team's in front of them. I don't know why that guy. Yeah, he was having difficulty stopping there as well. Or you can make a really good long-range shot, which requires a little bit of skill and a little bit of luck. Let's see if that'll connect. Nope.
Not bad, not bad.
A little bit slow, but that's the type of consideration you need to do with kind of every shot in tribes, which is part of what makes combat so satisfying, because it's not just, oh, hey, I aimed in the right place. It's, you aimed in the right place while moving to the right place at the right speed and managing the environment as much as you are managing where you're aiming, which I think is what makes this really cool and helps it stand out.
That right there, was a good example of, like, that guy rolled in, your whole team was over at your base, he managed to get the flag back in it, and he didn't even bother to shoot. Other games with CTF, you're capturing the flag and you're kind of fighting your way back very viciously. This guy basically rolled in, and through basically being a skilled skier, was able to kind of outmaneuver the rest of the team.
Yeah, for sure. If you're good at movement, you can basically win a match without even really needing to kill anyone if you can score enough flag captures. So I'm going to ski down here. You get a lot of momentum here. You just have to make sure that you have enough jetpack to get up that second slope. Jetpack energy does come back pretty quickly, but you can deplete it. You can also see there are vehicles in the map. There's a Shrike running around there, which can be especially dangerous for flag carriers because they can. Oh man!
And to your own self, apparently.
Yes. Do not run into buildings. That is a bad idea. But yeah, they can be especially effective at catching back up with flag carriers. I think our generator is down right now.
It is. So yeah. So each side.
Which you can see these our stations are kind of out of power. So we need to recharge our generator, which is hidden under the base. Oh, it just went back online. So now our stations are back, and they're probably still attacking it. Let's see if they're in here. That's our generator. So all our guys are repairing it. You can go pick up repair guns for stuff like this. Here's a repair gun. Everyone just goes downstairs and then hits the generator with it. Oh god.
The reason that the enemy makes such a big deal out of coming and attacking their generator when, in theory, they should be more focused on the flag is that taking out the generator actually disables that base's turrets. It disables their vehicle station. So when that's down, his team can't use their credits to do things like call in vehicles and other useful things that could really help out their team. Their turrets won't fire at enemies coming in.
Yeah, it's a big disadvantage. And the credits I'm earning up, you can see up in the top right, I can use to actually upgrade turrets and things like that. There you can just see somebody upgraded a base turret to level 2. Is this up to level 5? It may be. Not sure. There are icons. Oh no, it's not. There are icons that show sort of the upgrade level. I actually don't have very many credits right now, so I can't do much. Oh, looks like
credits are totally earned only for each match too. This isn't like Charles spending his experience or his in-game gold. This is just him spending the credits he's earning through killing guys. And in theory, if he were to take a flag and return it, he would also get credits.
Yeah, and you can see right there, I just kind of mismanaged my jetpack and I ran out of boost while I was in the middle of a slope, which is not really what you want to do. I think the flag carrier, it looks like the flag's down. Oh no, they just picked it back up. So I'm going to try and get a boost off of this thing.
Good example, though, of the epically large environments in tribes. Not many shooters put this kind of space between players and give them this sort of gigantic area to move around in. Oh my gosh, Charles is going for the flag. Oh man.
Okay, so not the best idea. An example of why team play is important, because solo assaulting a base directly front on while there are like a whole bunch of people watching you do it is really not a very good idea.
That being said, you were dead on with your jetpack
I was,
trajectory.
and if I could have if I could have basically hit that and continued on and hit some sort of downslope after snagging the flag, then that would have given me a big advantage in gaining a head start on any would-be pursuers. There you can see that enemy turret up there has a few upgrade levels as well. And let's see.
But it's currently down.
It is smoking, so yeah, it's not in operation.
See, that guy mismanaged his jetpack. That's why he's like
so that
slowly
guy's kinda
trudging up and getting wailed on by Charles.
See if I can,
Oh. It's amazing how much the slightest little movements can totally change the effectiveness of a shot.
Yeah, and you have to kind of predict where you think, based on where you're moving, your opponent is going to aim so that you can stay out of the way. And of course, not everyone has a spin fuser, although I do like the spin fuser the most.
I think, yeah, the spin fuser is kind of, it's basically a rocket launcher.
And he dropped some ammo, so I can pick that up. There we go. So some of the other things you can spend your credits on while in-game is a variety of call-ins. So you have 3 of them. I can do a tactical strike for 4,000 credits. I don't have quite enough for that. You can just bring these up at any time. A supply drop, which can help out if everyone's in a tight spot at a remote location. Or an orbital strike, which is pretty cool, though it's 10,000 credits, so I'm nowhere close to that. Or you can go to one of these vehicle pads and actually purchase a vehicle whenever you have enough credits. So, yeah, there, bro. There we go.
He just wanted a vehicle.
Yeah, well.
Now we're waiting for him.
He's ruining my pad purchasing experience here. All right. So I can't exactly afford a strike, which is a flying vehicle, but I can get a grav cycle. So I'm going to purchase one of those. Will pop up over here, and I'm pretty terrible in the grav cycle, so...
It's we're just warning, but it's much faster, as you can see.
You go really fast, and you have these kind of regenerating ammunition that'll come back in a...
Potentially, though, a really cool way to run in and get the flag, especially because 2 people can ride on this at the same time. So you could roll around with a partner and just kind of then, do a quick base assault. I mean, that's always been one of the cool things about Tribes is the moment where a whole team rolls in with like a bunch of vehicles, and there are very Tribes sort of moments.
All right, so I'm going to see if I can nail this flag carrier. I don't know if it's going to work. Where's he going? Oh, there's small turrets all over the place. Ow.
Well, you distracted him, that's for sure.
I certainly did. Where is this guy going?
I don't think he knows.
All right, I'm gonna boost after him. Man, he's going really fast. So clearly this guy knows what's up in terms of movement. You can see him arcing through the air there. And is he actually gonna make that peak?
I think he
is, and he hit right on the downslope. So he knows exactly what's going on. I think he's just trying to irritate everyone, really.
Yeah, at this point,
take the flag from me. He's basically just skiing around all over the place and being a huge jerk.
He's
I
trolling because they're ahead 3-1. But
But I mean, so what this does is it shows how skill reigns, and what I should really be doing is cutting down the angle. So, in order to catch people that ski, you want to try and cut off their approach. It's just the difficulty with this guy is he's being so unpredictable with where he's going that I'm not always doing the right thing. There, he just did an entire. All right, I'm just going to attack this guy.
I mean, it's just that's a matter of he's not playing the way the game's meant to be played. What do you do? That being said, he was a fantastic distraction.
Yeah, that guy was okay. So I'm not very good on the grav cycle. That guy was really good at skiing, much better than I am. Because I more often than not, I wind up in the middle of a hill with no jetpack boost, and I just have to run like an idiot. And in that case, anyone with any weapon is gonna make short work of you. Let's see if I can get this guy. Once, midair. Damn it.
Yeah, if this sort of gameplay is, at all appealing to you, what you're seeing, I mean, there's absolutely no reason not to try it. I mean, we're going to be doing a full review on it.
Yes.
But our full review will be coming, in the near future. But it also, there's no reason not to try because it's free.
Yeah. I mean, you can just hop in and start playing immediately. And yeah, expect more coverage of Tribes, including a review of the game on IGN.com.